to order at,
This coffee bar.
Well, that's inside, that's really cool.
111.
And some
Like,
art,
it's not right.
definitely some art ones, these walls are.
Rena Richard?
Bland.
Second girl with the red hair.
Eddie Roach.
Jessica
Judy
from
McGee.
CSM.
Dick
Jessica
Galliano,
from the
so
senior center.
Richard is missing.
You good with the red hair?
Yeah.
Be aware, everyone, excuse me, that we're on television, or on video, whatever it is.
Judy, want to read the minutes of the last meeting?
Minutes for the Housing Authority meeting, February 14th, 2018. Present from Mildred Gallione, Judith McGee, Dina Richard, Linda Jones, Richard Kennedy, who arrived a little later. No members were absent. Meeting came to order at 6:07 p.m. Judith McGee read aloud the minutes of the January 2018 meeting. Approval of the January 2018 minutes. Rena Richard made a motion to accept the minutes of the January 2018.
January 2018, yeah.
Yeah. We approved it up here.
No, that's just the title.
That was just the title,
Oh, that's just the
It's a-
title.
paragraph head.
Excuse me. All right. Linda Jones seconded the motion. The board voted all in favor. Motion passed. Approval of accounts payable report. Linda Jones made a motion to accept the accounts payable report as presented. Judith McGee seconded the motion. The board voted all in favor. Motion passed. Business meeting. The board was informed of the frozen pipe in the community room. Equalized Contracting have informed me that they will correct any of the issues that have arisen due to the frozen pipe in the bathroom.
Of the
In
community.
That was
the bathroom
It's there
It's
twice,
there twice, just.
of the community room.
yeah, so that needs to be fixed.
The installation was removed during the renovation of the community room and never replaced. Laundry room should be up and running by the weekend. Vacancy of the B building will be filled on March 1st with the new tenants moving in. The Housing Authority has received a quote for heat pump / air conditioner for the community room in the amount of $995. We are hopeful to receive an award for this through the sustainability program through DHCD. The board members suggested that I should contact a furniture company to have a representative come out and design a furniture layout for the community room. I will be on vacation from March 10th to 24th, so our next board meeting will be held on Wednesday, March 7th, 2018. The meeting was adjourned at 6:30 p.m.
Thank you, Judy. Does anyone note any errors or omissions or corrections? One correction?
No, yeah, that,
Yeah,
yeah.
the double.
Where was that?
In the bathroom.
In the bathroom.
It's written twice.
Oh,
Okay?
yeah.
I know that you want, I know you wanted to stress it with
Yeah,
the bathroom.
yeah. Nancy.
Okay. So, with one correction, someone make a motion?
I will that we accept the minutes as amended.
I second the
The
motion.
motion has been made and seconded that we accept the minutes with one correction. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passed. All right, we'll move on here.
Okay, we mailed out all the bills.
Yeah.
Had them all signed and mailed them out and everything before I went on vacation, so that's why there's no checks here.
Okay.
But the accounts payable report is
Yeah.
there for everybody to see.
So we made the final payment to Eagle Eyes?
No, there's like 6,000 left.
This is a what?
There's about 6,000 left.
6,000 left.
Waiting to they come back and do all the corrections and then we can send that out.
Is it the eight
The
corrections
repairs from the
because
water.
of the what?
From the water damage.
Water
Yeah.
damage? Okay, because have they done floor here?
Mm-mm.
They haven't done anything, okay.
No,
They painted a little, I think.
A little bit, yeah, the
Yeah.
ceilings and stuff, but Tom Mulvey was out here before I went on vacation, and he said that he was gonna be contacting them to have them come out and have him walk through with them and see what actually has to be done, because the floor tiles are coming up over here too.
yeah,
Okay. All right.
okay. So we want to,
Make a motion that we accept the accounts
Payable.
payable.
and then second the motion to accept the payout.
Okay,
All right, motion has been made. and
I accept.
All right. Well, they're paid
Because
anyways.
the payout, because they're paid anyway.
Right, yep,
Okay.
sent them out.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Second.
Dan Rolli is here, he's gonna present the budget.
Yeah,
And,
okay,
you
the
can
end
go
of the
ahead.
budget, you're up.
Why don't we take him out of?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's the
Yeah.
next
Out of
one.
sequence.
Yeah.
All right, Dan, you want to go in here?
So I believe you all have a copy of this.
Mhm.
We do?
That's what I mailed to you.
Oh, that's what you mailed to me.
Yeah,
All right.
that's down there.
And I have it.
I brought what you mailed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
There it is.
Mhm.
That what you're talking about?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes. The THCD came through with some of the biggest news ever. That's why it took so long to get budget guidelines out and why we're doing a budget in March instead of November like we normally would have been doing. This budget isn't due till April and will be retroactive to January 1st for you. They're allowing a 10% cap increase. That's pretty
A
significant.
10%?
10% cap increase. Normally we get 2 or 3. Normally we get to increase our operating budget 2 or 3%. 10% this year.
Right.
The reason for that is because they had a new executive director salary schedule done. They had a national survey done and found out there was some substantial underpayments of salaries for executive directors. And so in order to make sure everybody could afford this increase in executive director's salary, it didn't happen everywhere, but it happened a lot. They made sure that the 10% increase would be enough to cover it. So that is the case here. There's a substantial increase.
I guess.
There's actually a second document that shows just that issue. Now, have you go to page 3 of this document? Do you have a board packet one for the missing number?
Yeah.
That was sent, oh, okay, yeah.
So we don't.
Yeah.
On page 3, you'll see the previous,
Page 3.
for the last page, and the second to last number was the previous approved amount, and the last number is the new salary schedule. I was able to make it all fit. I budgeted the full amount, so as long as you approve it, you'll be allowed to pay that amount. The story on this latest is there won't be another one for 3 years, there won't be a raise for 3 years. That's what they're saying, that's the
So
story.
normally where there's 3% every year, it is
So-
not going to be 3%.
Right, that's what they're saying as of now.
So what they're gonna do, give it in one sum?
You can get a retroactive raise up to this amount, January 1st. If that's what you do, as of now, the current rule, there'll be no further raises until they do the next one of these in 3 years. Some places have chosen, because of that, some places have chosen to tier this in. That's up to you. I budgeted the full amount to go in back to January 1st.
Yeah,
This didn't come from DHCD.
Yeah.
The reason for the latest delay, it went from December to January. They had put something in, somebody above DHCD took it out. That's all I know. That's all we know. We don't know who that is. But when they went to issue the guidelines, and there was gonna be 1% sin for anybody who was at or above the max in the future, somebody above DHCD took that out. So, not the governor, it didn't go that high.
Yeah.
I don't know where between
In between,
DHCD and
and
the
the
governor it went, but that's what happened. So you're gonna vote to approve that salary amount separately from approving the whole budget.
Okay.
And then the chair only will sign the original of that document.
Okay. I need a motion from the floor to accept the salary of the executive director. All those in favor?
Well, no, wait a
I-
minute. Let's talk about this a little
Oh,
bit,
all
okay? That's I don't know, I mean, I would prefer to tier it if,
You fit it in there, right?
Huh?
You fit it in.
Yeah, that's why I gave you 10% so you could fit it in.
And then
That's
you
why
go
they're
in.
giving you more subsidy to pay for it.
Yeah, so it doesn't really, yeah, I would go with it once and get it over with. I mean, if he's fitted it in.
excuse me, what did you
I
just say?
said, I would go with that as long as he fitted in appropriately.
Oh, I'm sure he fitted into the budget.
Yeah, that's why they gave you 10%, so I could fit it.
Mhm.
And it goes for so many hours, each person is budgeted to
Yeah,
how
they
many
figure out
hours each
everything,
person
how many
gets,
hours
how
you
many
work.
days
I
each
did look
person
at the
works and
formula,
stuff like that,
okay,
yeah.
I mean, I really worked through that formula once we got it. Anybody, any other discussion? I mean, my opinion, but what's yours?
I'm not quite up on it. We're gonna,
This is, if you approve it the way it is now, it goes from what it was to the new number, period, okay? So look at the last page, okay?
Current number, 2017, proposed 2018. If you do that for 2018, there'll be no raise
For 3
for
years.
3 years after that, for the next 2 years.
Or you can split it up, basically, is what you're saying.
That's what I said, that's up to you. If you can't afford it, that's their recommendation to tier it. That was their comment. If somebody can't afford it and then they suggest you tier it. Because it's up to you to determine whether you can afford it or not. They're not telling you what to do.
okay, and that's based on how many hours?
Well, that's based on 15.
15.
All right.
Which most of the time, I'm gonna say this, I definitely work more than 15 hours over here.
Absolutely.
Bringing stuff home, staying later all the time, so.
My feeling would be that I would tier it, but I'm only one member, so.
I would think we need more hours of work from this.
Yeah, that's not an option.
Mhm.
This is what they say this job should take and what they say the most you can pay for it.
And the same thing for Dean too.
Right.
You can't,
No,
No, they won't give me a
and like
Yeah,
you said
no.
before, this is the
They won't
reason
give
why
you a
they.
We
budget.
haven't even asked yet, okay?
But didn't you say that's why this is still running here too?
Huh?
Didn't you say before that this is the reason why the Upton Housing Authority is still in operation? Because they cut back the hours and they took away the benefits?
Yes,
Yes. Okay.
yes.
No, up to group.
Yeah, you previously had a waiver
I
a
don't
decade
vote.
ago to go to 20.
Mhm.
What?
I don't vote, so I don't have it.
What do you mean you don't vote? Of course you vote.
No, no, this.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, everyone's
Of course you
voting
do.
on
You're a
this.
member of the board.
Yeah, theoretically, you're the tie-breaking vote if there's ever a tie.
I think she's cute, her votes count, right?
No, because they were telling me that,
Well, so somebody make a motion, you know,
I need a motion if we go with 10%.
is there a second? No?
I should second.
Yes, you can second it.
Okay.
Okay.
Motion has been made and seconded. Going with the 10%?
Well, and, I'm still, I think we should spread it out a little bit, okay? That's my opinion. And I don't know what Judy's opinion is, and we don't have Richard here to talk about it, which is unfortunate.
Okay.
But well, no, that's a tie.
That's a tie vote.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, then would it automatically pass?
I don't know those,
Yeah.
I don't know those kind of rules, I'm just a finance
Yeah,
guy.
Well-
Robert's Rules of Order, you're the parliamentarian here.
But I'm not up on that.
Well, it's a tie
The
vote.
question before you is, it's quite simple, straightforward.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Short and brief.
What would be the difference whether it's in one lump sum or broken up into 3 years? I
The
mean,
Yeah,
debate is
I was
whether,
getting that, right.
it's 10% of the year.
no.
No,
No,
it's the
not.
same.
it's 10%.
10%.
Yeah, and
it's
now-
not
right
10%,
now.
it's not
Right
10%, it's
It's
this
not,
amount.
no, it's not 10%.
It's not 10%, it's this amount. This is the maximum amount,
That's right, you said it.
and you're allowed to do this January 1st.
It's more than
If you
10%.
do, there's no further
No, it's not.
changes for 2 more years.
Right.
That's the
Normally,
issue.
every year, I get a 3%
And they
increase.
make a decision right then and there.
It's not gonna be that way anymore.
She won't get it.
I won't get 3% next year, I won't get 3% the year afterwards, I won't get 3% the year after that.
Unless we choose to do it
So,
that way.
no,
No.
no.
Unless they choose to not pay
Oh,
all of
unless
this.
they choose that,
If
yeah.
they leave some of that on the table, it can be used in the future. But what this is also saying is theoretically, you were substantially underpaid in
Yeah,
the past.
all this
That's what the
time.
old number is, that's what the new number is.
Mhm. So,
I guess. I mean, we've got to make a decision one way or the other. We've got a tie here, so one of us is going to have to give. I don't know. Can we? Okay. Is this the only thing we have to make a decision on?
No, you have to approve the budgets. This you're going to approve either way, because this is acknowledging the maximum amount to be paid. Your discussion is more about the budget
Yeah,
itself,
yes,
not this.
yeah,
So this can be approved. This is acknowledging that you agree with the HCD that this is the most this position should pay, that you accept that information.
okay.
This is not, the budget is where we talk about paying it, which we just started talking about. Maybe we're not done.
Do you have anything to suggest?
No, I don't.
Well, why don't you give them time? I mean, you
It
just
has to-
gave them this. I mean,
Yes.
It's
Has
not
to be
like
submitted
it's.
to the state by April.
Yes. Yeah.
why? I
If-
mean, you have no chance.
If you're abstaining, it's 2-1.
Pros and
Hmm?
cons.
Can we make a phone call to Richard?
Wait, he's not here.
Hmm.
Well,
All right, just move on to the budget part then, I guess.
let's move on to the budget.
Mhm.
I believe you have this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure.
yeah,
So again, as I mentioned, the state's letting you increase your budget 10%. Most of that's going to 2 areas. Admin salaries, and then all the rest of the 10% that we could afford, almost every penny of it's gonna go to contract costs, allowing you to do more maintenance. Additionally,
We just need,
DHCD's gonna pay that legal bill.
Yep.
So that's why, if you look, it says we're going up 12.1%. That's why it's 12.1, because it's the 10% plus the legal bill they're
Okay.
giving you both. And so they're going to give you $35,975 in subsidy,
Mm-hmm.
substantial amount more than ever, to pay for these things. In addition, part of this $35,000 is to pay for $10,000 of what they call a technology allowance. Technology as relating to computers. If you need to update your website, update your computer equipment, stuff like that. Every other authority in the state got the same 10,000, so it's kind of funny. 10,000 is huge here.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
They have
right.
one computer.
Mhm.
10,000 in Framingham
What do you know?
buys them all new keyboards, I guess. They got 50
I know
employees. Right. So I've already called DHC to verify. As long as the copier networks to the computer, it's considered computer equipment.
Good.
So now we can get a real
And
copier
nice
for
copy
the
that
first
actually
time in
works.
a decade,
Mhm.
and still have all the money needed by the computer that you could get. And that's in the budget also, that's in the equipment page. So that's why they're giving you so much money, almost $36,000 this year, is to cover all those things.
Well, you know, one of the things that we really need here is, other than a new copier, is some kind of
Oh,
a,
no, we need a new copier.
well, no,
Yeah.
I didn't say, I said other than a new copier,
Is,
is a new, some kind of a telephone system, a robocall kind of system here, just for,
well, I think you might be able to incorporate that with your computer. I know a lot of people use their computer as
Yes,
their answering
yes.
machine.
yes,
So,
it's gotta be,
when the time
we gotta do
comes,
something.
or sometimes it's a separate one that does
Yes,
just
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, with
it's a-
$10,000, we ought to.
Right, that $10,000 is for
Auto
that
copy.
kind of stuff, exactly.
Yeah.
The second page is MRVP. We have a handful of units at Upton Inn that we pay the rent for. We
Yeah.
collect the fee for doing that.
Yeah.
And then we allocate some of the admin expenses
What do we do
against
for that?
this.
We handle the applications and that sort of stuff? Is that-
The money passes.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
we do
Yeah.
for them like we do for here.
And then, yeah,
Okay.
the money passes through us, and we write them a check for
Oh, okay,
the state share of the rent.
okay.
That program's gonna lose $500 because it has a $2,000 reserve, which cannot be used for anything but this program. So this allowed us to save $500 on the other program.
Oh, okay.
So we're trying to spend this money until there's no reserve,
All right.
and we'll adjust. The third page is just the rent calculation to help figure out subsidy. The fourth page is the actual subsidy calculation. You'll see the 10% increase, and then you'll see that legal added in. Then you see the tech allowance on the bottom. Those are all, that's why your subsidy's going up so much, those three items. The next page is utilities. If we don't have the utilities accurately budgeted, if they're not high enough, we would get more subsidy. If they're too high, we would get less subsidy. Utilities are subsidized on a dollar-for-dollar actual basis.
Okay.
So they will, when we do the year end, they'll adjust accordingly. So we try to predict as best we can what we're gonna do with utilities. This next page is the executive director's salary, as that's the only admin position we have, showing the change. The next page is the maintenance position, the Department of Labor and Industry.
Second,
The
Slow down.
The Department of Labor and Industry
that's,
tells you how much to pay the maintenance position, and it goes up every April 1st. This is the rate that's currently being paid.
We didn't get a very much of a raise, did we?
Oh,
Dean?
you just got one.
Hmm?
Dean's thing came in the mail today too for his.
Right, the old one's 2.5, I don't know what the new one is. There'll be a new one kicking in the middle of this year, which is around
A new
now.
what? A new what?
He gets a
New rate, he gets a raise
It's a
every
raise
April
too.
1st.
Oh, April first.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
okay.
whole
So
state,
it was not, so.
right, so that's not budgeted for, because I'm not allowed to put in it. I have to use the one that was effective January 1st, because you're a
Okay.
January year end, you're a December year end.
So he'll
Okay.
probably get about.
He did.
Why is his different than yours?
That's the way the state does it. Every housing authority in the state, it's April 1st for the maintenance staff. That's just what they did.
He
Now,
gets
the
more than
15
that.
hours that are budgeted for here is that a
Yeah,
number
that's
that they
25.
decided that?
You can have as much as 20. They,
But he'll get a raise as of April 1st. If he gets a raise as of April 1st.
I asked you if that.
yes, I was just waiting till it was quiet, so
Okay.
I didn't want to have to repeat things.
Okay,
You can put as many as 20 hours in. If you go to 20 hours, that's where health insurance becomes automatically available. So you guys decided a long time ago to stop at 15 to make sure we don't have that health insurance issue again. If you pay a maintenance or either position health insurance, you're literally going to double the cost of the position if they take a family plan. So that's why many years ago, That's why we used to be broke. So, we used to literally be broke, not struggle to pay the bills.
Yeah,
We stopped when we had those two different employees leave, their replacements were cut, the hours were cut back so they wouldn't be eligible for health insurance. And that's why you have money to pay the contractors now. You did this about 12 years ago.
well, I was here, I mean, I remember us cutting back on them.
Right, but so DHCD
that
didn't
is-
tell you, DHCD sets the ceiling, and it's 15 for the office and 20 for the maintenance.
But if we do the 20 for the maintenance.
You by law will have to offer health insurance.
I'm crying out
Yeah,
loud.
to be honest, it's the same thing with me too, because my hours are 15, and
Yeah, I
I'm
understand.
taking work home all the time and staying later, so if we
He's living and
do
working.
that anymore, I'm not gonna do it, because I should be able to get health insurance, and I don't get it.
That's right.
He actually only been working 12 for quite a while.
Do you?
I understand
Because
that.
Leo
Just so
was-
you know.
Yeah.
I left the 15 in the budget, because that's what you
Yeah.
guys
Well,
said the
I'm gonna
budget
tell you the
for.
state
but he's
question is
only
why
working
he's
12.
only working 12. Why is he working 12 instead?
Because we've had Leo doing it, because we have Leo making up the difference. From when I first came in, that's how it's been, and that's how we continue to go.
Is Leo still doing that?
He'll be doing the grass, yeah, we've had Glenn.
Maintenance and.
What does he do?
Oh,
Lawn
Glenn?
maintenance? I
Leo
mean, this
does.
place looks like,
It's terrible. He does a lousy job.
Leo,
just had this-
Leo does it really good. You
No, he
think
does.
Leo?
Yes, he does.
With the
Yes, he
grass
does.
and Glenn,
I mean,
the guy that's doing the snow shoveling there.
Is Glenn. Leo was doing the snow removal and the groundskeeping.
Yeah,
And then Leo told us this winter or the fall that he wasn't gonna be, I don't blame him. He wasn't gonna do the snow
Well,
removal this
Glenn
year,
did.
so we have Glenn doing it, and
yeah.
Glenn's
Glenn
doing
said
a
he'd
really
be
good
willing
job
to do
to
the
do.
yard work too.
If Leo doesn't do it.
If Leo doesn't. I know Leo
Well,
in the fall had said that he would probably
Yeah.
continue to
yeah,
do
but Leo's the only
Grass
man.
the grass
but you know,
mowing
the
and
thing is,
stuff.
there are other
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
Right, and I'd
Look
like
at
to,
them.
well, that's the thing, I think that we need to like start focusing on the positive stuff around here instead of always focusing towards negative
Yes,
stuff.
I mean, it's,
That's what I think, and then we'd be productive here,
Yeah,
instead of dealing with a lot of nonsense. I think it would be a good idea if we could either have Greg or Glenn, because that's
Yeah,
what Glenn
Glenn's
does
very
for
good.
his land, and have him come out here and like maybe fix this area here where they did the ramps, and over here too.
In front of the.
And in front of the building and
I
stuff,
think the
and
bushes
do,
need to be trimmed and.
well, the bushes
They
get
work.
trimmed, they
They're
get
trimmed
trimmed,
twice a year.
right. And the House of Correction people come
What
out and
about
do
the ones
it.
down the end, did those get trimmed?
They're all
Yeah.
trimmed.
They always get
Okay,
trimmed
they
in
all
the
got trimmed?
springtime, yeah, when the House of Correction comes out. But I think that there's a lot of stuff that we could focus on for the grounds around here to make
Yes.
it look more presentable.
Yes,
Mhm.
Like,
yes.
and start
Nice
dealing with
flowers.
that kind of stuff and not,
Yeah.
yes.
I'm not sure we need flowers, we just need to
Well,
clean
we
up.
need some.
and
Well,
spruce up.
it's winter,
Yeah,
Right.
you know,
I'm
right,
well aware.
you know,
Don't rub it in.
right, you know, so.
You were in Jamaica, we were
Yeah,
here.
no, but I mean, like, you know, it's gonna look like this right now, but I
Okay,
think it'd be nice if we could kind of like start
All right.
working on that.
On the last page, or next to last page, is the non-routine expenses. This is where the technology items are included. 4,000 for computer equipment, 6,000 for copier. That's just my guess on how to split up the 10. However, it really comes out, you got 10 to spend. If you spend more than 10, you just won't get more than 10.
okay.
That's okay. Additionally, I believe, if I remember correctly, the MOD project that did the community room renovations is not providing furniture. So we
Right, so we
budgeted
did that.
some money for that in here.
Well, we've already purchased for
It's right
that.
there, yeah. We want to show.
So-
So that's in this budget.
Yeah,
Mhm.
okay,
You're going to absorb that cost. And then
Okay.
lastly, in this budget is, the post office has informed you that you need to
Mhm,
do
we
something
need some
about
new
your
mailboxes,
Right.
So
clearly.
that's been
Yes.
budgeted for also.
mhm.
That's not in a mod project, so that's been budgeted
How
for.
much did you put in for that?
10,
10, okay.
go back to the first page. I just want to point out, so doing all that, and there's a lot of extra stuff here that we've never done in the years past. The reserve's going to go from 82% to 69%.
And what's the desired number here?
70 in my opinion. I'll give you the whole story. If you're over 100%, you lose subsidy. So we certainly don't want to be over 100%. If you're below 40%, you have to get permission from DHCD to do extraordinary maintenance items that aren't. Like if something comes up now, you don't have to call DHCD.
Right.
If you get below 40%, you will. And it used to be that if you had more than 70%, you used to have to help pay for the mod. That rule's gone, at least for now. So now you only got two numbers to deal with, 40 and 100. 100's the top, 40's kind of the minimum. That's what they call it. The midpoint is 70%, which is why DHCD said 70% for the mods in the first place. So I still think that's the place to be, 70%.
So if we do all of these things that you've talked about,
We'd be at 69%.
we'd be at 68.9%,
Exactly.
which
I
would.
think that's pretty close to right. So I'm very comfortable.
But in addition to that, it gives us a little,
Exactly. So ready? See at the bottom,
yep,
I have
Yeah.
over minimum.
You
Okay.
reserve-
That's how much more you could spend before you'd have to.
before I've got down to 40%.
That would get us to 20%, and
Okay.
DHCD will let you go down to 20%.
So,
Just between 20 and 40, you can only do health and safety issues, that's all.
Okay,
But what isn't health and safety?
yeah, we don't.
That's what we do.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right,
I don't know. You couldn't buy a truck. Health and safety would not be a truck.
right.
All right.
That kind of stuff, you know, there are a
Back-
computer, except they're giving me computers.
Excuse me. Back to the health insurance. Would this maintenance man need health insurance?
You mean, if we went to 20%, it's required?
20
Right,
hours.
that's, if we go to 20
If it's 20
hours,
hours,
it's
it's
required.
required.
He doesn't have to choose to take it, but we have to
He
offer
doesn't
it.
have to choose to take it.
Right, but
He
now,
also
and here's
works.
what happens.
Oh.
You change your policy for this person, you have to live with it for the next person. You don't know what the next person's gonna do, or if this person's life situation changes. If you have to come up with $18,000 for health insurance, you've got to cut $18,000 somewhere out of your budget. And that's what the going rate is for a family plan. That's why you guys made the great decision you made years ago.
I know Barbara Marston didn't take health insurance because
Yeah,
her
that was
husband.
her.
But-
That was her.
It's not about people, it's about the position.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So if somebody came in,
And you had to get a waiver to do that.
Yeah, we
If
did.
you remember, you had to get a waiver, the admin position's only supposed to be 15. They agreed to let her work 20, but she only got paid for 15. They just changed the rate so that she didn't get any more money.
Right.
really?
Yes, she didn't get more money. She got what, if she'd have worked 15 hours a week, she would get the same money she got for working 20 hours a week. The reason she wanted to do that, and DHCD went along with it, she was in the retirement system and it let her stay. It was about the retirement system and it let her stay in.
And I could have gone in.
That's what that was
Okay.
about. And that's why it was a waiver for her, and once she was gone, you were required to go back to 15. You had a
Okay.
waiver for Barbara Marston, not for the executive director.
Okay, all
And I think it's difficult for this place to find people that are willing to work here for the amount of hours, to be honest with you.
Absolutely,
Extremely.
my
I don't
opinion,
know anybody, like, if I was to start now, I'd say absolutely not, I would not work here.
my opinion, I don't know how any housing
No.
authority, regardless of size, can be done in 15 hours.
No.
I don't know how it can be done in less
And
than
with the-
24 to 28 hours.
No, and with
Because
what
it's
you're
not
gonna
about
do.
how many people are here or how many
Absolutely not.
buildings you have, it's about all the DHCD reporting you have to do.
I know that.
And the meetings you got to go to and everything else.
Mhm.
I know that.
It's easier to do the medium-sized places than it is to do the small. And the tiny places are the hardest ones to do.
Yeah, because the bigger ones.
It's just one
have,
person doing it, you
have
gotta do
people
it, everything
working.
it all the
A
time.
lot of people working for it.
And the same thing for Dean,
Housing has.
you know, really. Who's
Well,
gonna come in here and
the only
work
saving
15
grace
hours
for
a
Dean,
week?
we don't have
Is
that
that
for
he
the
works
director.
in Mendon.
Well, we have contract costs. If there's too much maintenance for Dean to do, we
Go
call in
outside.
the plumber to help, the
Right.
electrician to help, the painter to help.
Well, which we have
Right,
done.
we
Okay.
can't do, how do you do that for the office?
Yeah, you went on vacation.
What
you
can-
can't
what can
do
somebody
that.
come in and do to help?
Nobody's-
You know?
You can't do it.
The DHCD does not, and still has not addressed that.
Okay.
No, no, they don't.
Well,
Any questions about the budget?
This is pretty clear, I mean,
Mhm.
Keep in mind, so I'll help you temporarily solve your problem. Keep in mind, the budget is a ceiling. I budgeted the full amount in. You can vote to approve the budget and table the salary portion for another date. Because you can't pay it until the budget gets approved by the state anyway. So
Okay.
you can decide then what to really do when you have your full board and more time to discuss.
That's what I.
you vote to approve the budget?
Mhm.
I guess I second it.
Okay. Motion's been made and seconded, that we vote to approve the budget. All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion carries.
So the chair only is signing this one,
Okay.
right there. Then everybody's signing 2 other ones. Not 6 anymore, it's only 2. Remember, we used to make it sign 3? So now, the difference is, your name's on here. Find your name, sign next to your name. I'll start this.
Let's see if I know my.
And thank you. I'll put this on the desk. Now, if you get the missing signature.
From
then
Richard,
I'll
yeah.
type- Yeah, then I'll type it in there. I put them on your desktop,
Mhm.
so, because we'll have to open them back up and fill in the front 2 pages now that we know who voted and who made the motion and stuff.
Mhm.
Sound familiar from before? If not, just call me.
Yeah,
Call me tomorrow.
I'll
Call me
try- I'll call you Wednesday, let
Call
you
me
know.
in the middle, I can walk you through it.
Okay.
And put it up on your computer so that you can just call it back up.
so I just gotta get Richard's signature.
Get his
and then
signature,
Hopefully I can get hold of
and
him
then we'll
between
work
now
on
and
what we gotta
Wednesday.
do next.
Okay.
Because what's, we got till the end, well, actually, we don't have to the end of the week, though, we still got like 5 weeks before you technically have to get
We'll
it.
sign your legal signature.
Now,
I would say.
Dean was
As long as
telling me
we
that
want.
while I was out, there was an
Right.
issue
So you
in
just
the
sign it.
building where the septic line, I guess, leaked or something, it was all clogged. And that's probably gonna be quite a bit of money, because they had to come out and do that, so as far as where you just
We'll
did
put it
with
to
the budget,
non-routine, we'll put it to non-routine.
okay.
That's
have no
why
idea
being
how
at
much
70%
that's
is
gonna
good,
be,
because
but-
now we don't have to call DHCD and say, hey, we need to clear our sewer
Yeah.
line.
So
Can we
you
have
want-
permission? We don't have to do that. Not until we get below 40%.
I'm assuming it's gonna be quite a bit of money, because
Yeah.
when we.
Yeah, when we get
Yeah.
to stick
They
the
had
line
to
from the
do,
building all the way to the street.
yeah, they had to do that.
Any trees nearby? Is there roots in it?
It was all, wipes.
Just-
Wipes.
Oh,
Wipes,
okay, well,
wipes.
that's
It was.
a one-time
Driving down
fix.
Westboro
Well,
Road.
yeah,
Right.
assuming they don't do it
Well,
again.
Well, no, that happened
These
to us
buildings are
last
so
year
old,
over
and
here,
some of them are
too.
sitting in trees. I have places where
Yeah.
people
Oh, yeah.
have trees that have literally grown
Gone
through
into
them.
the roots,
Now
yeah.
we're talking about, we clear them a couple times, it doesn't really solve the problem. We have to start digging up and replacing
Yeah.
sections of pipe.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It sounds like your problem can be snaked
Yeah.
and permanently fixed that way. That's huge, that's much better.
Mm.
Because as much as you think it costs a snake, that's nothing compared to replace.
Yeah, Roto-Rooter does a
You
good job.
notice going down the Westboro Road, you can't pull off the road, and it's just
Trees everywhere.
logs everywhere.
Yeah.
What the- Down.
So now, we haven't heard back
This
from.
one of them, she's got one more for you somewhere. Oh, there it is.
If we have to start paying for rent, for the
Hmm?
park, if we have to start paying rent for the parking lot,
Yeah.
will that, will
Well,
that
then
be in
this,
the
let
budget?
me, I'll talk about that.
Okay.
As I heard from.
You want to talk to DHCD about that
No,
because,
I talked to him yesterday. Okay.
excellent.
Okay.
If they're gonna be on,
You've not
if
heard- I haven't
DHCD's on
heard
board
nothing.
with that concept, then they better be ponying up, in my opinion, the money to pay for it.
Oh, yeah, there's no question. Yeah, there's no question.
You and I are on the
And
same page.
we've already talked about that.
Very good. All right, I'll leave these 2 documents on your desk. This can be scanned. You can leave it in printer maybe. This can be scanned, this goes to, is it Lisa you're at?
Lisa Taylor?
Yeah.
Yeah,
This can go to Lisa, this goes someplace different.
okay, so I can do that
You can do
today.
this to Lisa as
Okay, and
soon
I'll call
as
you
you
on that on
want.
Wednesday,
And
once
we'll
I hear from
Talk
Richard.
about this Wednesday, Friday, or next Monday, whatever works for you.
Okay,
I'm always available.
all right,
If I don't answer, try and get in a half hour, I'm still
yeah,
another call.
Alrighty.
All right. Now, is he completed? We're all-
You're all done, Dan, right?
I'm done talking, I'm not done.
Okay. You're done with the need to do, okay, and this is yours.
He's ducking and running now.
No, I know.
We'll do that when you want to.
Thank you, Dan.
You're welcome, ladies.
I agree.
Okay, let's go.
All right.
Which is the community room furniture update.
Yes, okay. Before I went on vacation, if you guys want to see it, you can look at it.
Sure.
She came out, we paid. Evidently, while I was gone, this must have been discontinued.
This is the furniture here?
It's checked out, this one here, but it's in a cherry wood.
Okay.
It's budgeted $3,000 for the furniture. So we got the couch, 2 chairs, and the table. We
Well,
had
that's
picked,
nice.
it's gonna look nice, I think,
Which table, coffee table?
the whole thing, yeah.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Okay, and then we picked it in like a cherry color, and we had picked originally the tomato, but evidently it's discontinued now,
Oh.
so Xander, Burgundy. A little color.
Color don't matter to a hippie.
I know, but a little colorful in
It
here.
don't look like my shirt, I don't want it.
We had picked this. Originally, when we picked this color, we thought it would go good with the curtains.
Yeah.
The whole thing,
Well, the whole thing will go.
Cherry's
This one.
fine, that's nice.
Yeah, that's nice.
And then for the chairs,
want some
Oh, good.
What's the
Yeah.
these chairs, we're gonna have them sanded down, and it's like a tan color.
And
So
Which one did?
So we have
it's about the same, so probably like the buckskin.
You
I think
hold
it's
it.
the buckskin.
Will they use chairs to be recycled?
Okay.
Say, huh?
Yeah.
Do they understand that?
These chairs are gonna be recycled. They're going to sand them down, refinish them, and put new covers on.
Put
the
new
seat.
covers on.
And I believe it's
In the
this
vinyl
color
or in
here.
And the
fabric?
vinyl, vinyl.
Oh, good, so it's
And that's all there.
easy, that's pretty.
Yeah, this is good to like for weddings.
So this will look like a
or
brand
anything
new
like
one.
that, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
It was her.
Well, accidents.
Yeah, I think that's, yeah.
Yeah.
She said it's all.
That's brilliant,
It's
as
all.
a matter of
That makes
fact,
more
and these are
sense.
good chairs, so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. It was a lot cheaper, less inexpensive doing it that way there too.
Yeah.
So this should be nice. This should be nice when this is all. When
So
this is in.
when do we think that's coming?
Yes,
Was
that's
it
all.
6 weeks, I think she said, and I sent it in like 2 weeks ago.
So
She
in
said
about a month?
about 4 to 6 weeks.
By
By
then?
then.
I'm
Yes.
not leaving, unfortunately.
Oh,
It's
okay.
in my car. Thank you.
So when's it coming?
In about a month.
Oh,
4
another
to
month?
6 weeks. They said it would
Well, they
take
have to be, it
for
has
the
to be
furniture
ordered,
to come here.
okay, so it's done to order. because,
Sent to
you know,
order.
Right.
That's a good.
But, you know, at least it'll be brandy new.
Mhm. It will look
Yeah.
nice when it's all done. Then we get like an area rug,
Yeah,
you know, we get a good size area rug.
yeah.
But we want to wait and see what's going to be going on first here
An area
with
rug
the floors.
to be in front of the furniture?
Yeah, I think so.
So get something with
warm
some
it up.
pattern or something.
Oh,
Otherwise it's gonna be
yeah, oh,
very
yeah.
bland.
Good idea.
Yeah, like we just,
Would she had recommended something on a charcoaly gray.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, wouldn't show as much dirt and stuff
All right,
like that
so we'll move
too.
past that.
I mean, in time, it might be kind of nice if you could do like a TV on the wall. Right now, we just don't, like he was
Oh,
saying,
this is
didn't
good
budget it.
though.
But that'll be good for now.
We can
I
have
know.
a movie night again and.
Yeah, we don't want to put like a ton of stuff to make it look too
No,
cluttered
no,
on the
no,
walls
no,
and
it's
stuff.
not, yeah. Minimalist is always good.
Yeah,
Is any,
it's easier to maintain too, you
Yeah.
know,
Okay.
get it a lot
The
better.
inspection report.
Yes. I don't think that we did too bad on the inspection. A lot of it is, no, I mean, there's like 40 different ones for each department. A lot of it is, if somebody doesn't tell us about something, we don't know about it. So a lot of it was simple stuff, like refrigerator door handles
Yeah, just
were
the
loose.
screw loops, okay, that's what I got
Yeah.
there for, okay.
That was most of it,
Yeah,
you know? There was some, people aren't cleaning their apartment, And that is not our responsibility to clean people's apartments for them. So that was like another one.
Oh, wait a minute.
Just,
I know we don't do it,
no, we don't.
but
People have to do their own housekeeping.
I understand that, but is there a,
Are there any standards?
yeah, I mean, is there anything
Well,
that
we're
we can
supposed to
do?
supply,
They have
we're supposed to be
inspections.
sanitary
Where is the
conditions.
I know,
But
but
we're supplying sanitary
We are,
conditions.
right,
It's
it's
up
up
to
to
the
the person
tenant.
themselves to
Right,
clean their
and they-
apartment.
And everywhere you rent, you have to meet certain criteria.
Right,
So why aren't those people being held accountable?
so they are going to be held accountable.
Are they going to be
Because that would
held
be-
accountable?
how are you gonna do that?
I'm gonna sit down and
There are
talk
hoarders
with.
here, and
There's
when you
what?
walk, hoarders, because I've been to certain apartments where people have so much clutter. I guess that they cleaned it up in time for the
Oh,
inspection.
'cause there was nothing on there about.
But
chlorine.
sometime, right, but I went to one apartment, and it was like, I was practically walking on stuff, like, and I said, no. But this was like a year or so ago.
Yeah, I don't know, most of it was, like I
You
said,
walk
at the
past
end
some
of
apartments, and it has an odor.
Well, it's a fire hazard.
It is. It is, absolutely.
most of it is just like the refrigerator door handle being loose.
Did that
Yeah, but they don't wanna pay for it, huh?
That I'm gonna call Dean, I'm gonna call George about it. Dean and I were just talking about it. He tried calling him twice while I was on vacation.
maybe we need an electrician, okay?
Okay, well, a lot of people have other tenants and relatives.
George Almonopoulos.
They're-
I mean, the thing is,
Yes,
this
yes.
has been weeks that this has been out of order.
Well, they had to order it. They
I
had to
know,
order it.
it's
The
been-
one that they put in wasn't working, so he had to reorder it, and I don't think it's something that can be like ordered
They
instantly,
hold back
I
and
think.
expect
I
society
forget
to
what's
take
the
care of it.
fan, the exhaust fan that was on the roof.
Get a new one.
Well, no, he did, we did order it, he did tell me when I was, before I went on
I
vacation,
know.
that it was in, that they called
Yeah,
him
yeah,
and said that it was
exactly.
in. So,
I should have gone in.
I was gone.
Well, yeah,
Store light lace handle was loose.
Wherever you live, you have to,
well,
you be held to
They were
certain
mostly
standards.
like that, but
My daughter.
the handle was loose. The range hood light is out. We did get some things, the door peeling. So while I was gone, I mean, before I left, I typed them all up, gave them all to Dean, and he's been working on that.
Okay.
While I've been on vacation, trying to get everybody. But like I said, if somebody doesn't tell us something's loose or broken or whatever,
I can't fix
then
it.
we don't do it.
I was gonna say,
So
shh.
you always have the certain ones that can't lock, and then others that
Well,
Where, do we have the work order slips?
Dean has. He's the only one that should have the work order slips to go to each department. While I've been gone, that's what he was supposed to be doing, was calling the tenants and saying that I have a work order. They did the inspections, this is what needs to be fixed. We need to set up a time with him to, you know, to go in and fix things.
Don't they have access to slips?
Oh, yes, up there, up there. Right.
Everything's there.
They're
Right.
supposed to fill them in.
Yeah, but here, most of them don't make us.
Well,
threatening.
technically, if I'm here, or Dean's here, they contact us, and contact me and say, I need a work order, I need somebody to come in, my refrigerator isn't working. And then I'm gonna write up a work order, give it to Dean, Dean's gonna go in and fix it, and then he's gonna mark it down that it's fixed, and we put it in their file, so that we have record that we address the situation. If they don't tell us something is wrong, then we don't, how can we fix it if we don't know that it's broken? So
I
that's
understand.
where
I
we were,
understand that
that's
part.
where we were with the loose handles on the refrigerators.
okay.
They were simple things.
Now what's the tenants?
Right, it was simple stuff, like a light being out over a stove.
Did we go in and change the light bulbs?
Not all of them. The bathroom light is a special light bulb because it's got two prongs on it.
Oh, okay.
So that one there, and then the appliance kitchen, yeah.
Oh, okay,
But any other light bulb, that's their responsibility.
okay.
So the other would be the peeling, the paint was peeling on the exterior doors,
Oh, okay. On the
So-
inside or the outside?
outside.
Okay.
So that's another thing we do have to be doing.
So there was nothing
Nothing
dramatically.
really dramatic. We do have a couple of apartments that are, like the inspector said it, like a science project. That was the term that he used.
That was kind.
Science project.
Science
Mhm.
project.
Mhm.
Oh, my.
Scary.
Yeah, I heard one of the tenants delayed the inspector an hour and a half just talking.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, we
Yeah,
have
we
two of
know.
those. Mhm.
2 of those.
I only saw one.
Well,
Well, that's neither here nor there.
Well, the thing is, we have, you know, we talked about.
what,
But anyway, so.
So what are we doing for the,
the science projects, I mean,
Yes.
what are they?
Well, I just got that today, so
Okay.
I'm gonna have to set up something with them and have them come in and tell them that, they need to
Clean,
correct it, and then Dean can go in afterwards and check and make sure.
reinspect.
Does he commit in to do that again?
Does Dean?
He,
No,
the man, the inspector?
No, no.
you'll have to do it.
Yeah.
You have to do it, you have to,
Re-inspect it.
make sure
Re-inspect
it's
it,
all
yeah.
corrected, with the.
One of them
proper-
is, I think he's gonna be available, he should be eligible for certain services.
Okay.
Mhm.
Another one.
Where do we stand on vacancies? Do we have any?
We have one.
Is
Mhm.
it filled or?
Not yet.
It's gonna need some more. They have just moved out. They gave their notice right before I left, so this is the end of March, so it's gonna be big. Well, I think we'll probably try and, it's gonna have to be a week. It's the one that was there, Andy's, it's gonna need a lot of work inside it.
To make sure that you tell the HCD that you get a waiver on that one.
Mhm.
Okay, otherwise they hit us,
Mm,
all right?
Yeah.
I mean, it cost us $8,000 last year because,
No, not that much.
well, that's what it is with
And,
the
yeah,
HCD.
and I put in for the waiver. I put in for, yeah.
But in the same respect, it's like most of the vacancies have been
Filled.
second floor.
Second floor, and if
And-
you can't get somebody for a
I
second floor.
understand,
what do you
I
do?
understand that
Mhm.
everybody wants a first floor, and they
It's not
also
that they
want,
want, they need,
yeah,
a lot of them. Most of them that come in here, they need the first floor, they can't do stairs. The majority of people. That's why they want
Is
it.
I
this-
think that, like, I know when Trish and Seth was just here before we had the meeting, we were talking about it. We're running into a problem, and it's not just here, it's everywhere with housing authorities. And that,
It's not
that,
assisted living.
it's not assisted
yeah,
living,
and that's,
and that's the problem.
that's an issue.
That's
That
it's
is
getting to
an
be a big
absolute
issue,
issue,
and
yeah.
DHCD is going to need to deal with it in some ways instead of blaming the housing authorities.
Right.
And that's what's happening,
It's terrible.
you know?
I know,
It is.
I know we've run into situations where
Yeah.
people really should not have been
Been in here,
here.
right.
They should have been in a
And like they were
situation.
just saying too, I mean, people can't afford to pay $8,000-9,000 a
I
month
know.
for
For
assisted
assisted
living.
living.
And so what they're doing is they're
It's a dumping.
putting a dumping grounds here,
Really?
and it's not right.
Right.
Well, it's not right for
Oh,
every-
It's
for
not
anybody.
right for any
It's
of
not good for them,
anybody.
and it's not
And
good
it's
for
not
anybody
good,
else
and
around it.
it's not good for the
No,
housing
it's
authority.
not
And
good
It's
for
they're
not.
anybody.
They're not getting the right help.
Mhm.
They're just not.
They
And
can't,
they
right.
need, if they
Mhm.
need 24-hour services, they're not gonna, and they expect to get them here, they're not going to get them here.
Mhm.
That's not our job, that's not our mission, actually.
Well, definitely not. You
Okay.
know, and then some people think it is, and, they're saying, well, why aren't you taking care of my mother, and why aren't you doing this, and you're like,
It's not
what are you
right.
talking
No.
about?
Okay.
So hopefully that gets.
All right, well, I'm glad to hear that there wasn't anything that was.
Nothing really bad, no.
yeah.
No.
So the Eagle Scout,
Oh, yes, Eagle Scout. I heard from him yesterday.
oh, good,
He will be here on April 11th.
okay.
What is he doing?
He is proposing to build a covered bench.
Meeting.
Who's that?
What? Excuse me?
the 11th of April's meeting, David Foster is coming to Boston. Do you know who David Foster is?
No.
I can't believe you don't know who he is. He's
Oh,
coming to
yeah.
the Wilbur Theater. He is so good.
David Foster.
It's blooming David Foster. Who's David Foster?
David Foster.
And music.
He's
So?
really good. He's coming to the Wilbur Theater, but
Wow.
I'd much rather be there. But anyways. I
Now, wait a
see the
minute.
advertisement.
Wait
He
a-
is
So,
so good.
okay, on the
Okay,
11th.
April 11th.
Yeah.
He is proposing, this is a proposal that he has, to build a covered bench at the current location of the senior center bus stop, senior center for Coach Road.
Covered bench.
Covered bench, so that if someone is waiting, they would be out of the rain, and they would be out of the
Yeah,
sun,
sure.
so it would be
Yeah.
covered bench. He's dealing with his project coach, is somebody by the name of Jack Neely, whoever that is.
He's a construction
Jack
person,
Neely.
builder.
Oh, really?
construction.
And he's with volunteer
Builder
labor,
construction.
that won't cost us anything, okay?
Oh, nice.
An Eagle Scout project is basically, the Eagle Scout is responsible for planning it,
Yep.
getting the help, getting the finance, and getting the project done. And they've got to do it by the time they're 18 years old, okay?
Yeah.
So this young man, who's a member of Troop 132 here in Upton, this is what he's chosen to do. And he obviously has gotten some of his things. He was looking, so he said he's met with representatives of the did he come to see you?
No.
He obviously talked to the senior center, whoever that is.
Oh, that's up West Hampton.
I understand that, but to confirm the location of where they pick up the people, okay? So, he wasn't able to send me the pictures for whatever reason. And he had two options for the design of the bench, so he'll bring it in with pictures on the 11th. So, I plan on attending the April 11th Coach Road Apartment meeting. I told him what time it was and where it was.
Good.
So once the proposal has been finalized, we will be able to generate a material list, which will enable us to determine a budget.
Oh, good.
Okay?
Sounds great.
So his
So
name
I
is,
want to have the mailboxes over there. We're going to be putting new mailboxes
Yes.
over
Are they
there.
gonna be
too.
relocated by
I think they're going to probably be in that same
the
location.
same location? Well, the bench is like in between there and the sidewalk, but
On the side.
well, this is why he's coming
Yeah.
to talk about
Yeah.
location and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and we should get those mailboxes. I looked at those the other day. I'm amazed that they're still
Well, we
standing.
didn't want to replace them in
When the winter-
February.
We couldn't.
and wait till everything is completely
It's the
done.
plows guy's favorite target. Would you
Yeah.
replace it?
it's the file,
doing
it's,
filing.
it's the file
Yeah,
drawer.
it's Dan.
Put some WD-2, WD-40 on it, my God.
Okay.
That's enough to- Anyway, so that's what the project's about. He'll be here on the 11th, so
That's
I'm
great.
just giving you a,
Mhm.
All right.
okay.
All right, next.
Well, is that all you have?
Did I tell you about the heat pumps last time?
Yes,
Yeah,
you did. He
yeah,
says it was
okay.
$9,500.
All right. I got something from Faldy today. He's not too happy, the RCAT team. Nobody
Who is
seems, Faldy,
The
is
RCAT,
the Regional
yeah.
Capital Assistance Team. Okay, when we got the quote, when they came out and gave us a quote for the heat pumps, and we received an award from DHCD, from the Sustainability
Right,
Program. Okay. I assumed everything seemed okay, we got to go ahead on it. They said that they were gonna come out next week, I believe on Monday, to do a walkthrough and then possibly start right after. They said that they've done a lot of these heat pumps and stuff at a lot of housing authorities, so they
Yes.
felt completely comfortable with what's going on. While I was gone, I received an email from Betsy who's saying she's going on vacation for 6 weeks and just wanted to make sure that we were all set and set down the criteria, certain things that have to be done, which was fine. And now they want to have the construction advisor involved in this and also the RCAT team involved in this.
Yeah.
And it's making a big to-do out of something that's probably not gonna be a whole lot to do. So Baldy called today and is saying now because they've got so much work on their end to do, doesn't know how, but anyways. He wanted me to send certain things over to him today, the approvals and everything that I received from them, just so that he would know what to do, and then I guess he had to get involved with the code enforcement team to find out what's going on with the electrical panels, and to see if there's certain stuff that they have to go through from this town in order for them to do that. So, I don't know if it's gonna start actually next week, which
Well, it doesn't
we
make it.
hope, no, but it's just one more
Just
thing.
another
It's
thing.
just another thing
Yeah.
that when something's going along smoothly, they gotta change it.
Well,
and make it more complicated.
who is making the changes?
Is it
DHCD?
RCAT? Is it RCAT making the
No, well,
Who's RCAT?
RCAT is the Regional Capital Assistance Team. They're the
From
ones from
DHCD?
DHCD.
Yeah.
Yep, they're the ones that put certain projects together. They're very, very helpful.
Are they the ones who planned this?
This here?
Yeah,
No.
because I was gonna say, that didn't go smoothly.
No. So anyways, it's gonna get done. I'm just not sure if it's gonna be next week that they're gonna start the heat pumps.
So how many are we doing?
It's just
a lot of
one
people.
heat pump with two heads.
Yeah,
One here,
One to heat,
one in the office?
yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
And where are they putting it?
In the front, I
Okay.
think in front of like Radine's.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can't move around faster to keep on on?
No, I can't. I'm doing my best.
Right.
Okay, and I believe that's it that I have.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
All right.
I clearly,
I don't even know if you guys need to know this or not, but the grievance and we.
but it was canceled.
Yeah,
That was
she
it.
was,
Yeah.
she,
Have we
she
rescheduled?
denied that. No, I just got here today. Yeah. No, but,
Has she suggested a
she
few?
gave us a few dates that she's available.
Okay. All right.
So what is this with the grievance thing?
Well, there's a grievance panel that has to be put together for someone, and it's just a matter of scheduling the thing. Okay?
All right.
Now, we, board, got a letter from the state.
Probably the same one I got too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They want an answer by the end of the month,
Mm-hmm.
which is the end of this week.
Yeah.
All right. I told Millie that I would spend some time on it, and I did.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of questions, and I'm not sure that everybody needs to, there's a lot of questions to flesh out some of the issues,
Mm-hmm.
like this whole project.
That's them.
I understand that, but what I want are the facts, okay, to say, who did this, who did that, what was time, because they never really presented that to us.
Who didn't?
DHCD. I never saw plans for this before it happened.
Well, we received an award saying
We got
that
an
they
award,
were
yeah,
coming
okay.
in to do right,
Yeah.
and then DHCD's engineers
So
Right, they do the
drew the whole thing up.
I
Did the
understand that.
scope of work, and then they send it out to bid.
pre,
Yeah.
and then
Right.
reconstruction
We
maybe.
didn't have much
We didn't
say.
have much to say with it at
That's
all.
my point. My point is exactly that. But until somebody documents this stuff and says, okay, you guys, you complained about the fact that we didn't get it done on time, this is why. All right?
Exactly.
But they know why, don't they?
They-
Oh. No, you gotta understand that.
Well, I think there's too many people in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And that's exactly,
And that's
what it
exactly
is.
the problem.
That's what the
Okay, you've got
problem is,
people
right, and that,
over here, and people over here, and people over here. These people are criticizing us.
Yeah, we
we
had
have
nothing
nothing
really
to
to
do
do.
with it. We really do.
Dylan, I know that, okay? What I don't, but they're asking for an explanation as to why the thing did not get done on time. What I'm trying to do is put together the facts that says, okay, your idea, your guy, your problem, didn't handle it, you know.
But why are they asking you for that information when all you
They're
really
not
have to
asking me, they're asking the board.
Right, so
Right.
why don't we just, say, or why doesn't the board just say, DHCD, this was DHCD, we had
We had
nothing to do with it. You go and talk to your architect, you go talk to your
I want some
engineer, you
names.
go talk to your contractor.
I want some
Okay, I'll give you
names.
some names.
I want names, I want
Mhm.
to know what happened, you know, when this was proposed.
Well, I can't give you that kind of information because I'm not an architect, I'm not the engineer, I don't know when they drew that up, I don't know about the scope of work, I
know,
don't
but when
know.
did they propose it? I mean, they had to come to you at some point and say,
Well, when we got that award letter from them saying that we
I don't
received
even
an
remember that.
award.
That's all we
Oh,
got.
yeah, we got something saying that we received award for the community room assistance to our
Okay, let's dig
accessibility
that up.
project.
Yeah.
okay,
And that we were getting like 112 or something.
115.
All right, all right, so that's what
I
we
remember the
got.
number.
And then they had an engineer who,
Well,
Barry Bakinski is
you
our
and I can
architect.
get together and sit
Mhm.
down and pull those
Yeah.
facts together.
Yeah.
And I'll be happy to
Yeah.
flesh this thing out, okay? There are a lot of things here that I just think we're gonna have
That
to.
part you couldn't answer because
I know,
DHCD has all that information, and we don't have it, so how do they expect us to answer that?
Right?
but see, the thing is, the point is that I wanna throw it right back in their court. To say to them, look, this was your project. These were the people involved. We had no say, okay? Things, and they would criticize the fact that the machines didn't get ordered on time. And that was not ours.
No.
They criticized us for doing stackable units. We didn't make that decision.
Well, they want the backup, they want the backup, email that you got that said,
Yeah,
She
with,
said
yeah,
we-
with,
I sent all that stuff to
did.
DHCD.
well, see, yeah, but you sent it to DHCD. It's not necessarily gotten to these people, to Amy Steitley and to Laura Taylor either. It's, who are the ones, these are the guys, these are the people that sent us the letter.
Yeah, because I actually told Lisa too, I told Lisa on the phone that I was not pleased with being blamed for that laundry room at all.
I understand.
Because
And what I'm saying is that we need,
we need backup, we
We
need proof, we
need
need emails and stuff. Okay, I got the emails and stuff, yeah. I gave you that letter, the email last time from the laundry
Yeah.
person. and it said
yeah,
that-
I probably have it in my
Yeah.
file. If you can put your
Yeah.
hands on it, that's probably a whole lot easier, all right?
so, yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
So, that's one of them.
Mhm.
How many grievances are outstanding? Do you know?
That she's got?
How many, not necessarily just she, but who?
She's the only one.
How many do we have outstanding?
Well, we're trying to figure out what there actually are. I think there's like,
3?
yeah, maybe. They're all trying to figure out what they are.
Okay. Okay.
See, but we've heard two, and she's not going along with it.
I understand.
Yeah, bye, Jan.
Do you guys have a letter on the ethics issue?
Yeah, that it was okay.
I understand.
Yeah.
They want a copy.
They want a copy of it.
Yeah.
Okay, got that?
Yeah.
All right? It doesn't have to be done right now, but
Yeah, I'm just gonna pull it up so I remember that one there.
one of the things that's complained,
I
that's,
thought we said today.
huh? I never saw it, never saw that letter. And you really should file it with the town clerk,
Yeah.
okay? She should have that on file.
All right.
Reasonable accommodations, I've asked the DHCD to do a couple of things, and one of them is to send us someone who is a rent calculation person, expert. I don't, we've gone over and over these things that, and it goes on and on and on. We need to get someone in here who's with maybe.
It keeps changing.
But the point is, if you had somebody in here where there would be no question, okay,
Yeah,
that's the end.
they give you a formula.
I understand that.
But she's got to have the papers to back up.
Yeah,
And not add afterwards.
it just has gone on way too long, I guess is my question, is my point.
Well, I think it has
Actually,
too.
Yeah,
Yeah, but, this is, where does it end, is what I want to know.
that's my point
The
exactly.
rent calculating person should probably even,
My point exactly. Where does it end?
Yeah, because other people that I've spoken to in different housing authorities have never been with us at all. At all.
But we are, and we're
We are.
faced with it, and that's why we
Because they've got
have
nothing.
to do what we're doing, okay?
Yeah, I'm gonna get this one to you right now.
Oh, okay, perfect.
And based upon the interviewing.
That's one of the things I needed. And do you have this on your computer? Or is it in just a copy?
No, that was just sent to us.
Okay.
Yeah,
Would you send a copy of this to the town clerk, please?
why would I have to send her a copy?
Yeah,
It should be on file.
we sent it to Boston, so,
Yeah, but
and now they got it, they want it again. The moment I got it, I sent it right out.
to DHCD? Well, they seem to lose things. Okay. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to sit down with Betty to flush some of this stuff out, because she has the details on some of this stuff. Okay,
Yep. All right.
All right.
So you got that.
then we really need to make a decision on this.
You already did make a decision on that and voted on it.
Well, the thing is, let's put it off until the April 18th, April 11th meeting, okay?
But I thought we just,
It was just put on the budget.
yeah,
It was put on the budget, but we have the option of,
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
we have
This
the
other
option.
piece of it needs to be talked about at the April 11th meeting, is what I'm saying, in my opinion.
yeah, all right, I'm gonna talk to you about that afterwards. Okay. All right.
So you and I, when you have some time, once you get your feet back on the ground here,
Mhm.
okay? There are things that we need to do, like reasonable accommodations, that I'd like to understand what was asked for, what was approved, what was denied, and why.
There's been no denial of reasonable accommodations here.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I thought one of the grievances was on that.
But there's never been a reasonable accommodation denied here. That's why you need to understand the person that's filling these grievances out and what they're
I
filling out.
understand,
Yeah.
understand.
So there has never been a reasonable accommodation that's been requested here that's been denied.
Okay, all right. And we'll, this is the kind of
See,
stuff.
this is the kind of stuff that Laura Taylor needs to come out here and sit down and talk with me about, and not be going to the board members, because you guys aren't even supposed to know certain things.
Well, I know that.
Right. And
But
you can't
unfortunately-
know certain things
I
here that's going on.
understand.
So when they're asking you guys for the answer, it's gonna
That's
be
wrong,
more
that's
direct
wrong.
for them to be coming and asking me for the answers. and they're listening to somebody.
My ex-husband
Sure.
was very.
Okay, all right.
So that's where
let me
the
just-
problem
let-
is.
Let me just tell
Really
you
getting
that,
ready to say,
Sesame Street
uh,
character.
wait a
Real
minute,
soon.
just a minute, I'm gonna talk about parking.
Yeah, about what?
Parking.
Parking.
Yeah,
I got a note from Sarah O'Leary, yes, 2 days ago, that said that they're resurrecting it's just, yeah, it's been sitting idle for a year now, okay? And
So I'm
so
supposed to move.
what, all of a sudden, it has surfaced again. So I think that, and I heard from Greg Corbo today, so I guess they're gonna start negotiating. So we'll see where it all goes. But that's, at least it hasn't died.
Well, it really can't die because it's not our property. This is what gets me. It's
Yeah.
like, if
Well, no,
it's
it
not our
can't.
property, like, they asked for rent a year and a half ago, and we've been up there all this time parking at our own risk and just not paying them, so,
Yeah, we can't say anything because
Well, no, I mean.
it's all in there, the ball's in their court.
That's exactly right.
Mhm.
So at least they're resurrecting it. They have resurfaced. They had just disappeared for months,
Well,
and now they've resurfaced.
So we need to get on top of these things.
I know.
And get them moving.
well, you can do that, but, that's not their priority. Upton's not their priority, how it goes. It's simple.
Well, it's gonna have to become a priority, because if something happens over there and,
Oh, I know.
they take the land back.
and they take the land,
Mm-hmm.
then you might as well fold up your tent and leave. I mean, what would you do for parking?
Yeah,
Well, like I've been told for other places, they don't have to provide parking.
they don't.
And
Nobody does.
that's what the bottom line is I think that I care that you guys wouldn't have a place to park. I feel like if I was to rent an apartment too, you just kind of like in this day and age automatically assume there's gonna be a place for you to park, unless they say to you right from the very beginning. Actually, we found something not too long ago that showed, Dean actually found it. I don't know where he got it from, but about way back when there's been a problem. Which we
Oh, yeah.
already knew it anyways, but I mean, you know,
Yeah,
housing,
well, when this place was
recently.
built,
Right,
it was
that there's always been a
residents,
problem, right, but,
residents, and they didn't drive.
right.
Well, the thing is, they didn't need to drive.
No.
There was-
But like when I
there was
talk about it
transportation.
with other housing authorities, they all say the same thing, they don't have to provide parking.
Well,
The
what do people
lease,
do
the
with their
lease,
cars?
the lease, it's housing. It's not
Right.
housing and parking, it's housing.
Millbury
And
does
the
not have
lease
I'm sorry?
stays.
Millbury does not have
Millbury does not have any parking.
parking at
And
all.
what do
parking.
people do with their cars?
They have to find a
They
place
have
to
They
park.
have to
Yeah.
find a place.
Like, if you had a choice,
Hi, can I say something? Well, as tenants, Upton doesn't provide any public transportation.
No.
Right.
So so do we have to mobilize other tenants then?
I don't want to sound mean, and this is not my opinion, but
No.
they might say then you just can't live in Upton.
I
You know what I
see.
mean? And it
That's
sounds cold.
discriminatory. No, because that's, well, no.
You know what I mean? Like, if I was at my house
In
right
black
now,
and white, yeah, it sounds cold, but the
Right.
thing is this. If they're providing, and I know somebody who works for HUD, because I've asked her, and she says, well, if they've been providing parking this long, they should find a way. But there's no public transportation.
Right.
So
I
what
know
do
that.
they expect
Right.
people,
I know that.
and if there's a housing
Well, we have
project,
to go
it is
back
the
to
government's
the
job to provide
Yeah,
parking.
18.
So is it up to the tenants to mobilize?
But to do what?
Well, I don't know what we're gonna do.
We don't
But
need
the
them.
thing is this,
Well,
everybody needs to drive, there's no buses, there's no
No,
Uber.
nothing.
I I mean, this is in New York City.
I know.
This is
Okay.
Boston.
I mean, I don't want you to get, don't.
We feel for you, that's why this is.
I know that, and that's
Yeah.
why I've been pushing these guys for a year,
Mm.
okay, to do something. And, I mean, some of the emails that went between me and DHCD were not pleasant, okay? And so,
I remember that.
And they said,
No.
no.
but the point is
Did all I could.
that
We don't.
at least somebody's paying attention at the moment,
Right.
which is good,
You have a person who's present.
yeah. So,
Before that.
I mean, and I have been in, I've had 2 conversations with Margarita Morales. I don't know, all of a sudden she, interest in me resurfaced.
Mhm.
But it had nothing to do with anything here because I would never divulge any information on that. So I don't know, you know, I
It's
keep it very,
horrible.
very,
Yeah.
yeah, everything's fine and whatnot.
okay,
But there's a person who's going to try to reopen the tenant association.
well, see, I even when got plot plans.
Yeah. Are you ready to?
Okay.
I did that one.
Because I was told, and this person was trying to say, well, you know, I didn't get support, so I told this person, no, I didn't get any support from you.
Mhm.
That's what I told them.
Mhm.
You and I named names.
Yeah,
So,
All right, anything else?
no.
Okay,
Judy?
next meeting,
April 11th?
April 11th. April 11th, okay. Oh, all right, I'm sorry.
It was on there?
So I'm gonna make a motion, or we're gonna leave?
Adjourn, I moved that we adjourn.
Oh, I should have asked, do they have anything to say? Did you want to speak on anything, Abby?
no, I said what I have to say, but I'm just saying that if you need any kind of support for that issue, then we need to get together
Yeah.
and be strong about it.
All right. So,
All done?
yep.
All right.
That-
Yeah.